Welcome. I'm Marvin Hunt. I'm your instructor for our class, The History of Rock and Roll. We're going to have a lot of fun studying in this class. After all, what could be more fun than studying rock and roll? Rock and roll was born of a multicultural world. Whether you believe that American folk music or African drum or chant music, Celtic music, or even classical influences were the stronger types of influences that led us to rock and roll, it was born of that multicultural experience. It was also generated through social upheaval, youthful expression, cultural clashes, and a rebellious and youthful spirit. I see rock and roll also as a joyful celebration that has captured our hearts and minds and spirits for more than 60 years. I'm excited about this class. We'll be looking at the social and cultural implications of this music, how it connects to society, why did it develop as it did. I'm very anxious also to learn from you, your impressions and thoughts, and to understand your critical view of this. The critical thinking element will be important in your expressions, whether it's in forums or discussion groups and that sort of thing. And I want to know how you're seeing this class in relationship to the huge body of literature and music that we'll be observing and thinking and reading and learning about. We'll use Moodle's learning management system to conduct this class. We'll be looking at a lot of audio and video files of the artists, excellent artists. There's a lot of great literature we're going to be reading by well-known authors about this wonderful body of material. I will be communicating with you, even though this is an online class. I'll be communicating with you throughout the class through the probably hundreds or thousands of emails that you'll be sending me, and I'm going to try to get back with you on all of them quickly. I'm going to be participating in the forums and discussion groups, watching in on all the discussion and at times commenting when I can, reading your papers and interacting with you. And I want you to feel free to communicate with me as I've noted in my syllabus. I've had a 45-year love affair with music, starting in about 1964, actually I think specifically in February of 1964, when the Beatles took the Ed Sullivan stage and performed there. And at the time I was in the hospital having my appendix taken out, and I wanted to make sure that I had the only TV set in the pediatrics ward. And I pulled it into my room and I invited all the other kids in, and we listened to the Beatles that night, and my life has forever been changed. I performed musically and earned a living that way for about 15 years, and I've played ever since then. And I started, like most guys my age who watched the Beatles and other groups of that era, by playing rock and roll. And that migrated as I matured and aged and what have you, and became more interested in rhythm and blues. Eventually I started playing more pure blues music and American roots and stuff like that too as well. But recently I've been studying the jump blues genre of blues, and I work with my wife, and we study the great female artists from approximately 1946 to about 1960 and perform that music together. My wife and I do that. So, best of luck to you in the class. I'm going to leave you today with a little riff from one of the greatest of all rock and roll songs, Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. See you in class.